What's up YouTube land, Xeno Gaming here, and welcome back to episode number 10 of my F1 2021 My Team. And here today we have the famous Belgium Grand Prix around the famous Spa-Francorchamps circuit. So I think everyone is a little bit excited for this one, and we've got the development for the drag coming in here for this race, which is really positive, as you know, long straight here. A couple long straights here, so the drag reduction will help. But you can see it's going to be a very wet weekend, wet practice sessions, wet qualifying sessions, and a wet race. So this could be an exciting one this weekend. Heading straight into qualifying here, no messing about, and we're coming out in the medium tyres here in Q1. There is predicted rain obviously, and it's going to be similar to Hungary. It's going to come out in around...
Expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
That 10 to 15 message kind of scared me off the medium tyres, so I came straight and came on a set of softs. Just, I need to get the best lap time in possible. I couldn't mess around on a medium compound tyre. So straight on the soft, so here's the first lap on the soft tyre, and it's 43.1 with 10 minutes to go in the session, and the lap felt pretty good, but then I looked at the time, I saw Giovinazzi ahead. I was only just ahead of Russell. Ocon was ahead in 8th, so the time wasn't as good as I'd hoped it to be. So coming here, next to the tyres, end of the session, 3 minutes to go, trying to get this lap in before any rain comes in the last final minutes here, so getting this in a little bit earlier. You can see we're 3-4 tenths up on the lap here, and we're currently sitting 17th, so we need this lap to be good as we come through the bus stop chicane, and we get a really good run through there, and we jump up all the way up to 14th with a 42.7 just behind the two Aston Martin cars. We jump ahead of Ocon and the two Alfa Romeos, and after the conclusion of Q1, let's see if we were able to get through after everybody else was able to complete their run in dry conditions. As we slide down here, and you can see, yes, we're just about through in 16th place with Giovinazzi, Russell, Lundgaard, Schumacher, Latifi and Mazepin all out here in Q1. Good to see Lundgaard's at least ahead of those three drivers, but very close between myself and Giovinazzi. Luckily we scraped through, but as you can see in the background there, it's actually raining, so the rain has started to fall here in between Q1 and Q2. So now as we jump here to Q2, we come out the track, it's wet, intermediate conditions, straight away, no chance of putting on a dry tyre like we were able to in Hungary. So we're going to go on the inter tyre, and this is our first lap here on the inter tyre, and coming here into the bus stop, second gear, very slow, very cautious, a 52.7 from Gasly. He's the guy ahead on track, so it's a great comparison to see what we can do compared to him. And we do a 54.2, we're 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds a lap slower, I should say, and then Norris goes even quicker, so yeah, 2 seconds slower than Lando and the McLaren, so we just didn't have the pace here in these inter conditions. But now with a minute left in the session to go, it's still intermediate conditions here, as we're going to come across the line and start our final flying lap here. We're currently sitting 16th after the first lap, so we need this lap. We're going to show this lap in full as we go through La Source, very gingerly on the throttle there, trying to get the power on as early as possible. But they already actually gets enabled here as we're going up into Eau Rouge, so I mean, if we were on a slick, I wonder if this would have worked on a slick, especially on a soft tyre. But we're going to open the DRS, so this is going to gain us lap time where I don't think other cars had the benefit of DRS, so this is going to be huge for us in Sector 1. At least have the benefit
Just
of
30
DRS.
seconds left in the session.
You know, 4 tenths of a second just with the DRS. We now go through the I can't remember now, but it is all good as we now dive down here into turn 8. Third gear corner, going to be very patient on the throttle. Here, short shift to 4th, and then back to 4th for the 99 corner as we now run to pool 1, trying to get on the throttle as early as possible. And you got to just throw the car in here at pool 1, even in these conditions. 6th gear, now get on the throttle and just smash the throttle here. And you go flat and through this far of the corner, even on this insert condition. Back to 4th gear here, but we're going to have to drop the 3rd. We ran so deep, and that's cost us a lot of time, especially on the run out of this corner here, as we didn't have that same momentum. So that was a terrible. That's cost us 2 tenths of a second compared to our last lap, as we now come on the run down out of Stavlo and into the Blanchimont corner, which is not really a corner. It's a little bit more of a lift here in this game on the winter condition, but even here I go through it flat, no problem. And as we now dive down into the bus stop, break at the 100 metre border, I went as deep as I dared, use a bit of curb on the inside, left, right, left, get the power down as soon as we possibly can, straight run to the line, and we lost a lot of time in that last half of the lap. Unfortunately, we are only able to see, I don't even know where I qualified, I can't remember. I think it's 15th position. Carlos Sainz actually got through on a soft tyre, so he gambled on a soft and it paid off for him. So I maybe should have done what Carlos done. We might have been into Q3 again. Carlos did that at Hungary. He was been very good in these interchangeable conditions, topping Q2 both times. But yeah, we do at least jump ahead of Kimi Räikkönen, and that's going to see us at 15th in the grid. We're only a 10th behind Lance Stroll, which is a little bit annoying, but we'll give it to yeah, it is what it is. It's a decent result, 15th. It's probably the maximum we could do in a dry setting anyway. So yeah, very happy with that at least. No Q3 around this time, but we'll give it to Crofty now for the race.
Welcome along then to the Belgian Grand Prix, the race that gave us the maiden victory for the Jordan team in 1998. And in the same team, the phenomenal debut of a young Michael Schumacher. There's always something special around one of the many corners of this fan-favourite circuit. So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes Forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high-quality racing as well. Simply put it, there really is no place quite like Spa. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn one. It's all a bit like going into battle. And the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Lando Norris and Ricciardo, Sainz, Leclerc, Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda, Vettel, Ocon, Fernando Alonso and Stroll, Jackson, Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi and George Russell, Lundgaard, Mick Schumacher, Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
So welcome everybody to the Belgian Grand Prix, where we have the simple one-stop strategy, and it's going to be a dry start here, but as you can see, the last 2 weather forecasts up there are predicting some rain, so the end of this race could get quite spicy, and we're going to have to plan around that, I guess. But we're just going to go soft medium. I think it's the best way to go, especially if there's an early safety car. I don't think we can take the mediums to the wet weather period. I think it's just too much of an ask. So we're going to just go on the soft medium strategy and maybe just go on a slight undercut on the medium compound tyre. I think it's the best way to go. So that's the shot. I'm taking some fuel. I wasn't sure how much fuel to put in the car. I knew I needed to take some out, but I wasn't sure how much I took out and what would be appropriate for dry weather conditions, just in case the rain doesn't come, like in Silverstone where the rain did not come. So yeah, we just got to be prepared for all the situations and get ready for the start of this Grand Prix, and hopefully we can have a good start here from 15th in the grid. I like that we're on the inside here for La Source, so we might be able to gain some positions here into turn 1. And the important thing is the run up the Camel Straight into the Lescom chicane. Now I remember the name of the chicane, damn it. Anyway, here we go. We're going to be ready as the grid lines up out for the 5 red lights here for the Belgian Grand Prix. 5th red light is on. And let's go here around Spa, and we get a really good start off the line here. We immediately pull alongside Stroll.
The energy store is getting worn, reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will
go
drop.
up the inside there of Ocon. Ocon gets a bit of exit on the traction, so we're going to have to slide in behind Ocon. Alonso's got a really good run out of La Source on the inside compared to myself. He's going to go side by side with Vettel up over Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel, not showing their age at all here. And Alonso and Vettel still side by side. Tsunoda looking for a way through. I'm slipping off on here. Tsunoda pulls it, so I'm going to go into his slipstream here. And now Ocon comes over on me, but I dive down the inside here. We hit that inside curve, the back end loses, there's contact with Ocon, and now we've got Alpha trying to go around the outside. That was right, and we hold him off. Lundgaard's able to slip by him, and there's a big collision there with Ocon. Thankfully, no damage, and I did have to check the MFD here if there was any damage. No damage though to record, so that's very lucky indeed, and we can continue with our race unscathed. And now we're chasing the two. We've got Alonso, Vettel, then Tsunoda and Ocon, so I think that's our fight here today, and that's just about points. That's about 9th place in this Grand Prix, so a couple of points is looking handy if we can beat these guys today. You can see that we're just dropping back slightly there, but now we move there, and the start of lap 2, sorry, we're right behind Ocon here, and we've got Lundgaard behind as a rear gunner, which is nice, and we know we're quicker than our teammates, so that's not much of an issue. As we go up by Rouge here, and Ocon doesn't get the greatest run up through Rouge and Radio on, and we're getting a fantastic tow here, and I'm just going to kick in a little bit more overtake mode, and we're getting a really close here to Ocon. He defends to the inside, we go to the outside, right around the outside at the Lacombe chicane, and we are able to move up into 13th position. A really nice move there on Esteban Ocon, and that puts us in 13th position as you know.
Yellow flag.
And the yellow flag here on lap 3, and I wasn't sure what this was. For a second I was thinking safety car, early stop onto the mediums, but then you see Lewis Hamilton here turned around at the exit of the chicane, and
Green flag.
I had to check what was going on there. So yeah, anyway, that was all a bit strange for Lewis Hamilton, as we now will cut to the replay cameras to see what happened. And here we go, he's chasing Max Verstappen. Verstappen defends to the inside, we've got Bottas in the lead up ahead. Lewis looks for the cut back here on Verstappen, and then he just loops it by himself out of the Lacombe chicane. Unbelievable mistake from the 7th world champion, the championship leader. He leads the championship by 50 points, has made a massive mistake, and he's just sitting waiting for all the traffic to pass by. Unbelievable mistake by Lewis Hamilton. And we now move here on to lap 5, and you can see ahead, Vettel's gotten past Alonso, and now Tsunoda's trying to do the same, and they're going side by side through Lacombe, now down into, I think this is Ravage, through turn 8, this tricky right-hander, downhill, and they're still side by side, going into None. Tsunoda's trying to take the position away from Fernando, he's trying to push him all the way up to the barrier, and can Tsunoda get past? They're still going side by side into P1. This is unbelievable racing between these two, and Tsunoda's able to push Alonso wide through P1 and get the position. Well done between those two, great racing. It just edges us right up behind the two of them, and as you can see now, we're going to have maybe a potential crack at Fernando Alonso, who's just struggling for pace at this stage of the Grand Prix. We haven't been able to shake his teammate Ocon out of our DRS. Raikkonen's gotten past Lundgaard, unfortunately. But here we go on Alonso, good slipstream, good tow. We're not as close as we are on Ocon, but we're going to dive for it anyway. We go really late on the brakes, and we're able to go right around the outside here. But as we come through the right-hander, Alonso dives
Nice
into us
work,
like
that
he did
brings
in
you up
Tsunoda,
the place.
and Fernando takes position. We're now right out of position, but we're going to try and drive right around the outside here and get the line into the next corner, and we're going to hold it there. We're not quite alongside here. Alonso gives us the room, and we're now able to go side by side on the run down to P1. This is excellent racing by the double world champion. First with Tsunoda, now with ourselves, and through P1 we're going to do what Tsunoda did and just push Fernando out that little bit wide so we can't go around the outside of some muggers, and we move into 11th position there, and we've dropped a little bit behind Yuki Tsunoda. So what a bit of racing that is between Tsunoda, Alonso and myself. And now here on lap 7, you can see we're 2.3 seconds behind Yuki Tsunoda, and the race strategy is to come in on lap 8. Gasly's actually into the pit lane this lap, Tsunoda stays out. I'm going to dive into the pit lane here for the undercut.
Expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now.
And some rain could be on the way in 10 to 15 minutes, so at this stage I was thinking maybe should I go on a soft tyre, but luckily I think it's just better, it's safe to go on the medium. I think the medium's a good race tyre anyway, so yeah, don't worry about going on a soft tyre. And unfortunately Lundgaard comes in the pits, so now they're double stacking here. I didn't expect him to be in the pits here on lap 7, but it is what it is.
Go now.
And yeah, I've decided to come here in...
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
So yeah, we're trying to go for the undercut here, and we'll see if we can get this to go. But as we now come through after the outlap here, you can see Iran's in the pits, catching up to Latifi here quite quickly as well. But as we come around the last source here, Tsunoda's on the inside here, on the exit of the pit lane. There he is, Yuki Tsunoda. So we've gained that 2.3 seconds and he was ahead. And now we're going to go side by side through Eau Rouge, getting a good run here on Tsunoda, obviously with the momentum out of turn 1. But he cuts ahead of us into Eau Rouge, but we're going to have DRS. He does not have the ability of the DRS here. And we've got our overtake mode going as well here on Yuki Tsunoda, good slipstream. We're going to go to the inside, he defends to the middle of the racetrack. We go even further to the inside. We're now side by side, voluntarily ahead into the corner. and we overtake Yuki Tsunoda for 13th place at this stage, and on track I think that is for a 10th place, so that is fantastic.
Brilliant. Nice move.
And that is now us here behind Latifi, who's been holding us up through this whole middle part of the lap, and we're going to quickly get past here. And I was, at this stage I was thinking maybe I should wait until the DRS, but I've got a really good slipstream here run, and a really good momentum with the toe, and with Alonso behind and Tsunoda, I need to get this done ASAP. Latifi, I don't know what kind of line that is, he actually goes off the track there through Bonchon. We're going to go around the outside here of Nicholas Latifi here, and we're going to get the high ground here for the left-hander, final corner, and we take the position away from Latifi quite easily. But now we've got cars in the pit lane,
The gap to the car ahead is 3.2 seconds.
Further 2 seconds ahead of Tsunoda. And with the undercut was that good that I reckon if it wasn't for Latifi, it would have been right there side by side with Vettel. It would have been similar to a Tsunoda situation. But you know, we've got 1.5 seconds to Seb now, and we're trying to close him down. You can see we're 1.2 seconds here on lap 12. I'm pushing hard. We've got 2.5 seconds to Tsunoda. We've been able to pull away from him. And I'm trying to just get a bit of DRS, because I know if I can get DRS, I can sit with him behind Sebastian. DRS is very powerful around this track. So just trying to get within that 1.5 seconds, 1 second, sorry, of Sebastian Vettel. I make a slight mistake though there. So you just run that little bit wide, lose time out of Stablo and all the way down the straight here to the bus stop chicane. So yeah, it's really critical. I was using as much overtake as I'm absolutely pushing this car. You can see I'm down to 22% here. You can see I'm right on the threshold here of DRS. We didn't get it on this lap, but we're 9 tenths on the straight. I just need to hold this gap through the middle sector all the way around through turn 1 at the source where I get DRS in. You can see, look, I'm holding that gap. I'm still holding that gap. We don't get DRS. Unbelievable. We're 1.001 seconds outside of DRS here. I'm just trying to get it so I don't have to burn as much energy on the battery, and I just can't get within DRS here. I'm going to come...
Okay, clear.
We've got yellow flags here, we're 1.1 seconds here, and unfortunately I don't get a great run through. I make a big mess of body La Source there, get up on the outside of the curve there, we lose 4 tenths right there, and that was kind of it, really. Now we've lost that little bit of a toe we were getting, and now Seb's gone. I couldn't close the gap back up. It's now gone to 1.9 seconds, and now we've got Hamilton behind Tsunoda coming back at the rest of the field, obviously. And you can see here on end of lap 18, start of lap 19 now, Hamilton's right behind us here, and this is for 1 point. So I'm going to do everything I can to defend this position. But as you can see, it's also starting to rain. The rain has come.
We're leading our teammate by 32.1 seconds.
As Lundgaard now retires, so that's our teammate out of this Grand Prix, which is a bit of a shame. But we've got bigger problems now to worry about. We've got Lewis Hamilton right behind us, and he's 3 tenths. He's in a much faster car. Tires are pretty similar at this stage of the Grand Prix, but there's just not much I can do about this here. And I'm going to try and defend all over Moore here. He's got a great run. I go to the inside
of the race.
It was as late as possible. He's got that much overspeed that he's through well before the braking zone, and he's easily passed. And there's not much I can do about it. So now I'm going to just push on hell to try and catch this guy. It's, you know, we're going to cut out this little next bit here. It's not going to be much here. See 2 corners we cut out, and I'm pushing. He's already got a second on me, but I'm trying to push to get with up to Sebastian Vettel. So he come through, pull on. I do what I did in my last few league races around Belgium. I get on that curb at pull on. With a couple laps to go, it brings out a safety car immediately, which I thought was no need for. Maybe that's for Lundgaard as well. We can use that excuse anyway. Here under the safety car, we're right behind Alonso, so we lost 1 position because of that, 2 positions because of that little spin. And then under the safety car here,
we have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
With the limited grip of the rain coming down the old mediums that have gone a little bit cold from my spin.
Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed.
It's just, yeah, it meant that little half spins cost us actually catching up to the back of the pack. Alonso actually himself is a second off the back of the pack. But yeah,
this is your final lap of the race.
Final lap of the Grand Prix. That's when the safety car had to come in, obviously, for the final lap. But yeah, I just tiptoed around this last lap. I didn't take any big risks because I knew this was the best position I was going to finish here today at 13. Didn't want to lose that to Lance Stroll, so it's going to come across the line for a 13th place finish.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Many doubted whether they could pull off the win here at Spa-Francorchamps, but they've done so in spectacular style. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Nicholas Latifi gets my vote today.
Let's move on to the constructors. No change in the top spot, but with today's points, their hold on the lead is getting weaker. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
So that was the Belgian Grand Prix everybody today, and what a Grand Prix of so sweaty after that one. I was pushing for 22 laps. That one little mistake at Pool 1 really cost us a chance at points. I don't think it was going to happen because I don't think we were going to do anything after, because if it wasn't for my spin, no safety car would have come out. So I don't think that changed. I think we would have finished 11th. Maybe Sonoda, we would have had a battle with him towards the end of the Grand Prix. Really sweaty Grand Prix. I think that's the hardest I've pushed for 22, a full race distance. It's just really enjoyable race, and unfortunately no points. We were very close, we were fighting. I just couldn't get within that 1 second of Sebastian Vettel. I think if we would have been able to do that, we would have had a chance to overtake him and secure our points finish. It is what it is though, and no points for us today. Good points for Vettel and Aston Martin. I mean, it's only 2 points, but points is points, and he extends their lead in the constructors up to now 13. So that's all good. Bottas taking the victory here today. Hamilton with just a 10th place finish, only picking up 1 point, means his championship lead is down to 34 points from Verstappen. So that's all of a sudden a little bit more interesting with his poor result here today. All on his own, having a spin, so it wasn't even like a car issue that could have taken him out of it. Anyway, we're going to upgrade here the control electronics, because that's been a part that's really wearing really quickly. You only get 2 parts of the season. We really need to upgrade that. And as we simulate through here,
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control. We need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
Yep, a little bit of a shame, but it is what it is. We're going to redevelop that. But I hope you enjoyed this episode anyway today, guys. I think it was a really good one. Please leave a like on this episode if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel for plenty more F1 2021 My Team, and comment your feedback down in the comment section below. And I will see you all for the next race at Zandvoort. Until then, I'll see you then. Goodbye.